we will see certain advantages of the gradient boost. Okay, we have various advantages for the gradient boost. It is parallelized tree building, tree pruning using depth first approach, cache awareness, and out of core computing. Okay, as you have seen that in gradient boost, we our memory gets exhaustive when we build large number of trees. Okay, so it's very good with cache awareness and out of core computing. Then we have regularization for avoiding overfitting, as I have told you in the previous slide. Only when it's overfitting, you set that gamma value. It's efficient with handling the missing of the data. Inbuilt cross validation capability. These all are the advantages of the XGBoost. Okay, I have described all these advantages one by one here also. Will the slides be shared with us? Yes, yes, they will be shared in the end of this. At the end of this session, we will tell you how you can access to this content. Okay. Uh, okay, Sunil. So in XGBoost, you have built in L1, that is lasso regression and regression. If you have learned something about this about linear regression, you have seen what is regularization, what is lasso regression, what is ridge regression. Okay, which prevents the model from overfitting. That is why XGBoost is called regularized form of GBM. Okay, then you have parallel processing. XGBoost utilizes the power of parallel processing, that it takes into account multiple CPU cores to execute the model. Okay, that's why it's much faster than GBM. Okay, it uses multiple CPU cores to execute the model. Okay, it is very good at handling the missing values. Okay, if your data has missing values, so when the XGBoost encounters a missing value at a node, it tries both the left and right hand split and learns the way, leading to higher loss for each node. Okay, it then does the same way working on the testing data also. Then for cross validation, XGBoost allows the user to run a cross validation on each iteration of boosting process. Okay, you have learned about cross validation before also. So it allows you to run this cross validation at each iteration of boosting process, and thus it is very easy to get the exact optimum number of boosting iterations in a single run. This is unlike GBM where we have to run a grid search or only a limited values can be tested. Okay, now effective tree pruning. Okay, we have discussed about tree pruning already, so it is just like that only. So these are certain disadvantages of gradient boost. Okay, like any other boosting method, as we have discussed just now, that these boosting algorithms, they are sensitive to outliers. XGBoost is also sensitive to outliers. Okay, unlike GBM, in XGBoost, one has to manually create dummy variable encoding for categorical features before feeding them into models. Okay, you have to make the dummy variables encoding for categorical features. Okay, you cannot directly feed them to your model. Okay, if one thing is that it has black box nature. Okay, if you need the effective sizes of XGBoost, it won't give them to you. Okay, though in some algorithms like AdaBoost, they can give it to you, but in XGBoost it is a black box nature. It definitely not gives you the effective sizes. Okay, you had to derive and program that part yourself only. Okay, it overfits the model if model is not stopped too early. Okay, this is also very important, that if you don't stop your model too early, it overfits your model. Okay, uh, with the help of tree pruning we can do that easily. We had discussed that earlier also. Okay, now let's see about